From the Bob Mills Weather Center, the Oklahoma weather expert, Travis Meyer.
All right, as we know, it was a wild start. We're talking about, again, there was a funnel, and you'll be able to see a little bit right in there, a little condensation funnel that went right down into here. So that was a touchdown of a tornado west of Pawhuska. Michael Fowler gave us that. That was east of Shiloh. And so that was over open terrain, which was good news. But we did have some other issues just on the north side of Pryor. You can see this lowered area right in here. Brandon Wells was right on this storm as it continued to track through, and we just went on the north and northeast sides. We expected to see some damage on the west and southwest sides, but so far we haven't found that. But mainly, Dawn had this picture for us in Pryor. Again, it was just powerful enough tornado to be snapping off some trees and doing some damage to outbuildings and also to a roof of a home. And this was the original track of the storm. Started down by the Bixby area, went up over Broken Arrow. The red areas indicate where the strongest shear, and that's where there's a lot of turbulence in the atmosphere. That helps us determine where tornadoes usually form. And so about right here on the north side of Pryor, you see that red dot, and that continued back to the north. And so that was an active tornado warning for quite a while. So here's the Pryor area, and just on 69, extending back on up to the north and to the east. Ended up being an EF0 with 80 to 85 mile per hour winds, which again wouldn't be bad unless it hits your home or hit something important. And it lasted for, it was about 5.3 miles long. So that's the first of what should be a couple of tornado reports. Eufaula, so far we haven't had very many reports out of Eufaula, even though we had some pretty intense parts of that storm that continued to track starting in Pittsburgh County and then tracking over the south end of Lake Eufaula and going right through Eufaula and east side of Eufaula and then back on up to east of Shakota. And then also another one that actually we do have video or pictures of a tornado, and that happened not too far from around Salisaw. So this was really wrapped up and going strong, and so the National Weather Service will be checking on that as well. So the big storm system is wrapped up and moving out, and it's going northward, so we're not getting the colder air. But man, do we have storm system after storm system out to the west, and that cold air is just to our north. But because that storm system is moving more northeast instead of diving southeast, this cold air is not sliding southeast. So that's good news for us. We had a big old ice storm though up in a portion of Nebraska and Iowa and also southeastern South Dakota. And then all the bitter cold air is off on the east side. And again, if it stays over there, that's okay. Because if it gets over here, that means it'll slide down in our area. And so far, it doesn't look that bad. Jet stream is very active, and most of the activity now is going to be out in the western part of the United States. And California has already been having flooding. We've talked about it for the last several days on through the weekend. There's been just tons and tons of rain already and flooding from San Francisco's Bay Area back to the north. The south hasn't had as much, but we call this Pineapple Express because these storms are basically coming from near Hawaii and moving to the east, slamming into the coastal areas. And you can just see what's going on, storm after storm. And this is going to end up, in fact, by the time we get into Monday, and this isn't counting Thursday, this is just to Monday, we're already seeing anywhere from 6 to 10 inches of rain and 5 to 7 feet of snow in the higher elevation. So again, this is going to be pretty much a tragic event for some of the folks in California that's coming up. For us, these storm systems are not really going to have a major effect because they're going to be pretty much dry for us. We have maybe a few showers on Friday, and then the real cold air is staying to the north, so that's making a huge difference in our weather forecast. So we're pretty happy about what's going on there. So that is the welcome news. As far as the extended, we're talking about temperatures that are going to be pretty mild, and that is welcome news as well. As far as looking at temperatures for tomorrow morning, we're looking at about 31. And then by the time we get on into the noontime, we're right around 46. So it's going to be very, very comfortable and not too bad. As we look on into the afternoon, we're talking about 49, and that is welcome news as far as not too bad as far as winds are concerned. And then as we look on into the time period for, we've upped the temperatures on Friday, and so that's into the 60s now. And then on Monday, temperatures are in the 60s as well. So there's a couple of warming periods, and we've also upped temperatures a little bit, and that's a nice quiet weather forecast.
Do you need to check a calendar?
I know, because it's not whacked out.
You're all right.
Yeah? You like this?
You're all right.
Better than a tornado on January 2nd.
Yeah, well, definitely.
Better than 8 degrees or whatever it was
Okay, we'll
about
say that too.
2 weeks ago.
Yeah.